Come on, YouTube. Are we up yet? Okay, there we go. For some reason, YouTube is a little bit slow tonight. That was weird. Usually it pops right up. But welcome to MAPP Presents. I guess it was up, but my thing was telling me it wasn't. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to talk about Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 4. Let me slide over because I keep forgetting. The comments pop up on the right. I don't put them on the screen anymore, that, ghetto version, how I just screen grab it, because if you click on live comments, YouTube has it automatically. For those who don't know, every week we get questions, but it's automatic. So yeah, click on that and it'll put it right here somewhere, I guess. Anyway, we're gonna discuss Fear the Walking Dead. If you're new here, I'm gonna do a first impression review for the first 10-15 minutes, and then for about half an hour, 45 minutes, we're going to discuss fan feedback, your feedback, based off your comments down in that video description. Now, I want to start off by saying this video is not sponsored. However, go and watch, if you are a fan of Karate Kid. I had no idea this was out. Or if you grew up watching Karate Kid, the originals, go and watch YouTube Red's Cobra Kai. I think you can even get like a free trial of YouTube Red. We're gonna discuss this tomorrow. I gotta make a little video on it because I was expecting this to be just horrendous, and I gotta say it has a certain touch of charisma to it that I give it a high recommend, and I definitely want to see a season 2. But anyway, I'm going to shut up. There's 10 episodes, about 22, 25 minutes per episode. Cobra Kai on YouTube Red. I had to plug it even though we're not getting paid because I had a hell of a time watching it. Where's Madison? People are asking. She's still alive. They're going to drop that bomb coming up. She could be dead. Who knows? But I got a feeling like she's separated to some degree. Anyway, Ratchet said this episode was kind of confusing. I didn't really find it confusing, but what did you find confusing? Talk about that in the coming up fan feedback portion. My overall thoughts and opinions, if you guys want to know if I like the episode and then you want to get up out of here, I'm sad. I thought it was an okay episode. I wasn't blown away. There was some of the dialogue and the journalist. We already knew she was a device. I called it, didn't I? Yeah. Those screenwriting courses really paid off. You can definitely see where they're going when they take this character. Obviously, the girl who's interested in people's backstories, and they have this timeline already set up where we're going to have to see their backstories. The dialogue just felt a little iffy, though. It was a bit stiff at times, like oh, your brother, he did. That's the best you can do. I mean, how many polishes did this screenplay have? I think it would have been better to just not do it and have Alicia just in a state, like she just lost her brother, and, question Strand, come off of Strand's conversation and have Alicia. Don't even look up. Don't even acknowledge the camera, the girl asking the questions. But she's talking just because she needs to vent. She's been through this shocking. Give us something small and simple like that. I think that's a little bit more believable. So the first thing first, confirmed. They know it was Charlie. I think that's important because the way she ran away and the way Alicia came out, a lot of fans were not sure if she knew it was Charlie or not. So they definitely know it was the little girl. That's going to be interesting. That is interesting leading into how they're going to get revenge. I wrote the journalist, the tool. She's the tool for the backstory. Now we know this is most likely going to continue for the first half. So if you're not a fan of what they're doing with this backstory, buckle up, because it doesn't look like this is only a 2-episode device. This is a tool they're going to use for at least the first half, maybe even the second half too. We'll have to see how far that goes. Strand's rock was confirmed as well. You guys were right. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. You guys said the microphone's a little loud. Hold on. Let me see. How's that? All right, how's that? Let me know if it's too low now. And thanks for letting me know, too. For some reason, it was maxed out on the OBS. It must have just bumped it or something. Anyway, you guys let me know how the sound is now. I turned it down so it wouldn't clip. Anyway, The Rock, you guys were right. That was a piece of the dam, and that is him. It's a reminder to not be that person, but also when he was leaving, it wasn't The Rock when he was getting ready to leave. It was when they were sitting around, they were talking about the pancakes, and when he looked in the back seat at his stash, he saw the pancakes, the syrup, you know what I mean? And that reminded him of the people he has, the people he would be leaving if he just bounced. All right, it's too low now. Son of a bitch! All right, how about that? And I'll try not to talk so loud. All right, now it's a little too low. Well, son of a bitch. It's too hot. It's too cold. Make up your fucking mind, Goldilocks. Is that even the right? Whatever. I'm waiting a second to see if it's too loud now. I turned it up. Sounds too low. No, we gotta wait a few seconds. I turned it up. Naomi. Sounds good now? Alright, let's rock on. Naomi, this is something we're gonna get into between her and John, but Naomi and whatchamacallit? What's her name? The pretty chick? Alicia. They go to a really cool, my God, I'm forgetting what I'm saying. I was going to say atmosphere. I like the atmosphere, but it was a really cool setup. That stage where they went. Not stage. Oh my God, I'm losing it now. All right, the stream's over. I already fumbled so much, I'm done. With the swimming pool and everything, this is something that I really do like. A lot of times we see characters grow a bond, and we are a little disconnected because we want to see them bonding. Like Lethal Weapon, you see them bond. You see how they grow on each other. You know what I mean? Having her and Naomi just have that little moment where they're trying to pull each other up on the slides. I like it. Like I said before, the environment that they were filming at, it's something new. I don't think we've seen a water park before in the world of The Walking Dead. So it was absolutely... It had a great atmosphere, great zombies, 100%, a great situation. It didn't seem stupid. Like when they're trying to get up on the water park to slide, we know that shit is slippery. Yeah, how many different ways are you... Water park, what do you mean fuck? That wasn't the word I was actually looking for, you son of a bitch. I was looking for like a filming phrase, you know? Like the set or some stupid shit like that. But anyway... The water park was a great environment, and showing how they bond, just her pulling her up, and then they dropped a knife, they go up, and they have that other fall, and then we see where she gets her weapon. A lot of people were wondering about that. Her little, so far it's one of the first signature weapons in Fear the Walking Dead. Having that little moment to bond, I thought was good. We could have had a little more. I think they could have trimmed some other stuff and made that moment breathe a little more with her and Naomi. But we get to the point because afterwards, John spots the backpack, and this is something you guys picked out, and I was like, nah, you're nuts. You said, what if Naomi was Laura? And I said, that's fucking ridiculous. How can Naomi be Laura if fucking Laura's Laura and Naomi's Naomi? That's, that's asinine. I really wish they would have had John tell Morgan, I never really got her name. Sure, we would have been like, could, but you guys thought, look at you, you guys thought of it anyway. So it's like an unnecessary trick for the viewers. Like, let's change the names just so the viewers go, oh my God, that's the same girl. A lot of you guys were guessing that anyhow, so it just seems really stupid. Like, we're going to get their backstory in the next episode, and I'm actually really interested in this. I think they got a great setup with these two, and I want to know more about them. So I definitely am interested in next week's episode. But the name thing, they need to explain that good. They need to explain that as if, like, in the next episode, she's a little timid or shy, or she's uncertain about this guy. It looks like he saved her. She was almost drowning or knocked out by a river or some shit like that. If she's hesitant to tell him her name, and they turn it into a cute little, you know what, you look like a Laura. I'm gonna call you Laura until you open up to me. And then they eventually grow on each other, but then, they split up, and she never has the moment to tell him, her name. I don't know, something like that. Something cute but believable, because right now it just seems a little ridiculous that she would not give him her name. It's a little contrived, you know, because again, it's a trick to get us going. Oh, zinger. And here's the thing, her death, this pisses me off a little bit. Back to Hollywood style writing. The writing when they revealed Laura is dead. Yeah, right. Right when they revealed that, the characters no longer speak like normal people. They begin to talk like the screenwriter is setting up the surprise later on. A real person would say, did you see it? You know, she's dead. Did you see it? How? How specifically? And if they didn't see it, well, you guys know how TV and movies go. If you didn't see it, they're not dead. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. Now, that's not the case all the time. But for the most part, if you do not see it, yeah, Naomi, Laura, whatever your name is, she's absolutely alive, I feel. I wonder how she died. Yeah, you'd think they would say, hey, you know, hey everyone, Naomi's the lady who left John Dory. Thank you, we got that. And there was something else. There was definitely something else. We're going to have to go into the fan feedback because I am missing something. There was one little other moment I wanted to point out, but yeah, listen, between Madison and where's Daniel, we're going to find all that out. Now, if Daniel doesn't come back, that's just the actor most likely not wanting, or maybe they didn't feel like there was a place for him in this new storyline. I really wish he comes back. The actor has a lot of charisma, but for everyone asking, I see a ton of comments. They're just not going to tell us yet. Just by looking at the structure, we probably won't see Daniel until the second half of season 4, if not the first half of season 5, to be honest. And again, I could be totally wrong. I'm just getting this vibe from how they're flowing. We could see him in, you know, episode 6 for all I know. But I just get this feeling we're not going to see him for a little bit. Where's Madison? They want us to think she's dead, which makes me think she's not, you know? If she is dead, I feel like there would have been some sort of acknowledgement, you know, or else some of the other things they say just kind of seems a little ridiculous. Yeah, can you love someone that much when you don't know their name? Sure, why not? I love some women repeatedly over and over without knowing their name, you know? I mean, shit. It can be done. All right, so wait, anyone spot the Dawn of the Dead inspired walker? I'm no good at those unless they're painfully obvious, you know. I did like the porcupine walkers. So yeah, in a nutshell, my final thoughts. Yeah, it was a bit of a slow episode. I thought I had some problems connecting with the dialogue. It felt like it was a screenwriter piecing a story together rather than an authentic story unfolding. However, with that being said, I do like the idea of somebody being interested in stories, capturing these stories, and then finding out the backstory. So I do like that tool that they're using. It's just the dialogue I think is keeping me from fully being connected. Again, it feels like a screenwriter trying to be clever and not make it seem like it's a screenwriter putting it together and trying to make it seem authentic, you know what I mean? But Harrison Hall, wait, there's an interesting thing. Hey, Ronnie, do you or will you still support the actor who played Nick in other roles, or do you feel he made a big mistake wanting to leave the show? We're going to talk about that in the second half of this video. We're going to get to there soon because I'm almost done. Is my name Ronnie? No. No. No, I'm kidding. My name is actually Ronnie. It's not my first name. It is my middle name. I think we've gone through this before. But yeah, my name is... It's really my name. It's not a made-up name. Anyway, well, I think it's officially it's Ronald, you know, but Ron, Ronald, Ronnie, whatever the fuck you want to call me. All right, so Nick and the actor in the next segment, but to finish this out, I still like the work they're putting in season 4. I still like this better than the last 2 seasons. For me personally, as a fan, it's working for me more. Even though this episode was the first one out of the season 4 that just wasn't, I don't feel like a home run, not completely, but it did what it needed to do. If it's filling us in on that backstory, and it is fleshing out the story that is to come, that they've started to put the pieces together while also giving us that backstory. So I'm happy with it. I feel like it could have used a little polish as far as making it, my cup of tea. But I would have to, if I did some sort of trivial 1 out of 10, scale, I'd probably rate this one a 6.5 or something like that. Now keep in mind, I almost never give 10s, just so you understand the scale if I was going to do that. And 9s would have to be like, oh my God. So 6.5, 7-ish is still good, When you get down to 1 being dog shit, 2 being bad, 3, you get the idea. 5 is like, okay, that's an average episode. 6 is like, okay, it's good, but it's nothing outstanding. So it feels like this may be the last season of Fear. I doubt that. They're setting stuff up in the world of The Walking Dead to have more. So I really doubt like they're going to do this. Plus, the crossover character is a commitment. That's not something they do for 1 season. You know what I mean? With Fear the Walking Dead even having lower ratings than what it honestly should have, or it should have had, Fear the Walking Dead should have been... it honestly should have been doing twice the numbers, it was. And I feel like it was just because it was a story that fans weren't connecting with. I think there was a lot of problems. Honestly, they started a prequel, and this was their biggest flaw. Started a prequel, but didn't give one. They hyped it up so much. Oh, this is, the downfall of society. And it was like 1 episode and we were trapped in a barbershop. And that's not to say the story was bad itself. That's you're hyping the fans up and saying you're going to see something, but they're not actually. Because then, and I know a lot of fans are mad about this, in season 1 they did a time skip, which made a lot of fans mad. They were like, wait a minute, what? A lot of fans felt duped, and if you notice, during these points where it's revealed that we're getting a different show than we were told we were going to get, or maybe that we expected, the numbers started to dwindle. So I think Fear really should bring in more, but with the numbers they are bringing in, they can sustain themselves quite well, Vigilant Stoner. That's not really accurate, though. You said you refused to watch Fear the Walking Dead. They're putting money into a different show instead of raising the Walking Dead budget. Fear the Walking Dead, putting money into that, it doesn't take away from the Walking Dead budget. But I do agree they need to raise the Walking Dead budget. Absolutely. I mean, it's pitiful. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Aaron said, with a large weapons stash, why didn't they get the weapons earlier and wipe out the vultures? Is that too obvious? I guess they just didn't want to kill people if they didn't have to. The vultures weren't actually out to kill them. They were just sitting there waiting, surviving on their own, but still picking the area clean around them. I still feel like they should have killed them all anyway. I mean, instead of sending groups out there, I feel like they should have sent hunting parties out there, and every time the vulture... See, if I was Madison, right, I would send out my group to not look for food, but to kill and rob the vultures every time they sent someone out, and get rid of the bodies somewhere they'll never be found. So that way they just never return, and the vultures never know what you're really doing, you know what I mean? And hell, if they get mad and attack you, you got a lot of guns. I mean, fuck it. And if they don't, eventually they'll leave, or you just kill the rest of them off, And I truly feel like that might have been a great... Imagine that story. Imagine that story if we came in for season 4 and we have this villain group, the Vultures, who... And keep in mind, this is great. This is actually a great concept. They're going to wait outside, keep an eye on you, like a vulture. They're going to pick the area around you clean, so that way when you go out to find some scavenge some goodies, you can't find anything because they picked it clean. So it makes it even harder on you, where you fail quicker, and then they can pick the meat off your bones even quicker. But now, instead of the story we're getting, imagine a Madison and a Nick, because of the situation that's going down. Imagine them forming these little hunting groups, slowly, little by little, and picking off the vultures. And then the vultures finally, oh man, this is, we bit off maybe more we could chew, but they killed a couple of, like a brother to the vulture. Important people, where the vultures, they're like, okay, we can't let this stand. We have to get them. I don't know. Maybe they could have done that and what they're currently doing. That would have been neat. I think turning Madison into that type of, it's not really a bad guy, but that's badass. But it's still not, like, a good guy wouldn't do that, An anti-hero mixed with a badass, hardened good guy, they would do that. I don't know. That sounds cool now that I'm thinking about. It might not work out cool, though, so I don't know. Anyway. So I give my first impressions. We're obviously going into the fan feedback now. As far as Nick and the actor, here's something that I have said before. When you get somebody who, like, if, let's say there's a casting for The Walking Dead Season 10, and I'm shithead, and I go in and I know, oh my god, this is a good show, but I'm also a fan of it, and I get the part. They're like, Ronnie, you got the fucking part, you're, fucking beta, you short, stupid bastard. And I go in, and then you guys love me, right? You watch the show, and you're like, oh my god, his charisma. I came 5 times watching that episode, and I blow up. I'm Daryl Dixon, who? Ronnie fucking Hayes, that's who, Where's he at in the conventions? And everyone's just going nuts, and I'm like, Tom Cruise is jealous, okay? That's how fucking big I got. And then I turned around and said, nah, I'm too big for The Walking Dead, and I left. I should never get support, straight up. That's a dick thing to do. When you come, that's how I feel. When you come into a franchise knowing about the fan base, like, you should come into it ready to hold that shit down. You know what I mean? Don't go into Star Wars and go, okay, this is good for my career. I'll do one movie, maybe 2. Get see you nerds, No, I will never support you in anything after this, That's just who I am. When it comes to franchises, I don't think actors should, use that just to get ahead. You should use it, honestly, for the love of the franchise. If you make a stupid independent movie and it's like, oh my god, that blows up, and it becomes a cultural phenomenon, and they ask you to do part 2 and 3 and 4, and you just aren't really feeling it, yeah, I get it, I ain't mad at you. But if you go into something knowing it's going to make you big, and then you get big, and then you get the fuck out of there because you're too good for it now, I'm not supporting you in anything you do. When it comes to Nick the actor, I do cut him some slack because seasons 2 and 3, in my honest opinion, were very problematic. And if he was leaving because of that, and again, we don't know the specifics, so that's where it gets a little iffy. If that's why he wanted to leave, then yeah, I understand it. I ain't mad at him, Season 7 had some good episodes, but 8 had done problems in The Walking Dead. Is he talking about Frank right now? Yeah, I'm talking about Frank leaving the show. Q&A, if Frank got a chance to be in the new God of War, excuse me, Jesus, Game of Thrones spinoff, then shouldn't he leave Fear the Walking Dead for that? Did he? I don't know if he did. I mean, if he got a part in Game of Thrones and he bounced for that, I mean, all right. I don't really blame him. Again, if he was not happy with the story that they had going on. Keep in mind, too, he wanted to leave, and also keep in mind what happened to his character. He, as an actor, had probably a ton of charisma. I don't want to say he had the most out of everybody, but he had a lot. He's easily likable. When you see him, you have this instant connection with the charisma, and you're like, okay, I want to root for this guy. But you can't be a shithead. Even if you have that charisma, if you're a shithead, it's like, oh, well, it was fun while it lasted, but he's a shithead. They took his character and just had him leave his family just because they wanted to film him differently and get him over to the Colonia, you know what I mean? So they just give this stupid reason for him leaving. What if he just hated that idea, I'm not mad at him for that. Wait, who are the guests on Talking Dead? I have no idea. They're trying to force you to watch Into the Badlands. Some people like that show, but I really wish AMC would just stop trying to cram it down your throat, you know what I mean? They could have just Molotov cocktailed the vultures' RVs to hell and back. Yeah. If Madison were to lose both her kids, how do you think this would change her? She would just become hardened, you know what I mean? How about your thoughts on Walker? Will we see him, or is he the next Morales? Again, this gets tricky because they have so many characters spreading out. I think it's impossible to see them all, right? So if there's going to be a couple we don't see again, Walker might be one. If we do see Walker, or what's his crazy foot or whatever his name is, maybe like in 2 seasons, like a Morales, he comes back in 2 seasons. I could see that happening. Wait, why do you shit on season 3 like it's bad, Ronnie? It's literally praised by almost everyone who watched. Critics even have it highly rated, and fans even agree season 3 was great. I did not like season 3 at all. That's why I shit on it. There's portions I like, absolutely. There's portions I really, really like. I think there's one specific episode, definitely one, that I was like, oh my god, I love this, one episode. Honestly, it has a lot to do with the character actions, the character development, the storytelling, and this, that, and the third. I didn't like it. I mean, you're asking why I shit on it. I shit on it because I don't think it's as good as it could have been. Or it's just not my tastes, But if all the fans like it, I think a lot of fans do like it. You might be right there, but then why'd the ratings drop? I mean, they plummeted. You know what I mean? Not all of them liked it. There was a lot that didn't. But I do believe a lot like season 3 better than season 2. I also think I did. Maggie Grace is a total babe with long hair. I haven't watched a single Fear season 4 episode yet with a smiley face. Watch it, dude. They're good. They are definitely good. They're stepping their game up. I feel the same way about Maggie causing problems with The Walking Dead. She is garbage. Ouch. Ouch, brother. Ouch. Eli Jackson with a $20 super chat support. Hey, Ronnie, love the channel. Just a badass all around. Thank you very much. You said you rarely give 10s as a score for episodes. Have there ever been any episodes of The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead that were 10s for you? Actually, I don't think so. I really don't. I think there's a handful that are 9.5s. But when I say I almost never give out 10s, that's real shit, because in order for it to be like a 10, you can't have a show get like 10s every episode. Then it devalues the 10. It's like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. What else is new, fucker? When you get that one special episode, and here's the thing, TV shows aren't supposed to have 10 out of 10s. In my scale, the way I view it as a consumer, as someone who likes entertainment, I don't think TV shows need to get 10 out of 10s. I think that's almost impossible for every single episode. Even Breaking Bad. For me, it'd be like a run of 9.9s and then a 10 here, a 10 there. But you'd have a lot of great episodes. Even though I love Breaking Bad, I think it's it's as perfect as you get for a TV show. It still isn't loaded with 10s because there are, that's an error here, an issue here, and that does detract from it. So I don't think The Walking Dead has a ton, but it has a lot for me that's definitely 9. I tell you what, I think for me personally, the premiere would be one right off the top of my head. For me, that's a 10 out of 10 all the way. But I'd have to go back and look because I'm sure I'm forgetting some. There's probably, here's a shocker. I think it's I'll go back and look. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I'm pretty sure there's a season 4 episode that, in my opinion, is a 10 out of 10. And I know a lot of fans are going to be like, you're nuts. But going back and rewatching it, oh my God, I fell in love with it all over again because there's so much going on, and it just lays down the groundwork for what we're going to see throughout the season. Yeah, it's slow and not filled with action, but as far as the storytelling, it's just an episode I absolutely love. Hey Ronnie, can a great season be ruined by one episode? Yes and no. No, not normally, Yes, if the one episode has something that destroys the storyline. Like, for example, if you take this storyline and it is just fun, enjoyable, there's suspense, there's tension all the way through the season, and then you find out in the very last episode that he was in prison and it was a fucking dream or some stupid shit, the whole season's ruined. It doesn't matter how much fun you had with it. If you find out it was all a dream or something stupid, yes, that's something like, it has to be specific stuff. Or killing off a character that was the main purpose for all the enjoyable storyline and flow and yada yada yada. Boardwalk Empire killed off a character and I felt like they just killed the series. And it really had good moments afterwards, but it flopped around like a dead fish far too often. With that character, it was like Boardwalk Empire Season 2 is probably one of the best seasons of any TV series. If I had to make a top 10 list, Boardwalk Empire Season 2 is on that top 10 list as one of the best seasons of any TV show. It's fantastic. Don't you think the fact that the vultures are finding so much food makes Fear the Walking Dead characters look foolish? Yeah, in a way. But here's the thing. They need to do that for the storytelling. If they wanted to, or if they had time to flesh out the realism, the vultures would find a lot of the food, but the Fear characters would still find some stuff. So in actuality, and this is what Hollywood gets wrong, is they feel like they spoon feed us. They want us to know things are bad, so the characters find nothing. Oh my God, we're dumb viewers. We're dumb, working class idiots. They found nothing. It is bad. No, have them find stuff. If they bring back a case of cereal, we're smart enough to know shit is still bad. They just found a case of fucking cereal. Okay, if you get the munchies, you can eat some fucking cereal, but shit is still bad. Hollywood does this all the time. All the fucking time. They overdo it just to spoon feed us that information. Like, we're too stupid to know, they found a couple boxes of this in MRE. It's not enough to go around a stadium. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think it's a mistake in the writing, but I think the mistake there is because they honestly don't believe the majority of the audience would understand. They'd be like, what do you mean it's bad? You just found 5 boxes of Fruit Loops. What the fuck you talking about? It's bad. Muse said yes, but that's not why people are... Oh, I'm not in that conversation. People are mad at Lauren for what? What's your thoughts on why Al has so many tapes in her van? I think she ran into a number of people and interviewed people and stuff like that. But I do think one specific tape or version of tapes, the bogs or whatever they call, I think that's going to be her specific story. But I do believe she has a lot from other people, but I think she has one that's specially tied into her. Ethan says, what's your... I already read yours. All right. Wait. Someone said not better than True Detective Season 1. I enjoyed that one. Wait. But school... Wait. You guys are talking about some weird shit. Wait, hold on a second. Off topic, but schools that don't give hundreds, but their students a disadvantage for colleges to schools that do. FYI, laugh out loud. Westworld is awesome and parallels Game of Thrones a lot. Yeah, Westworld is back for anyone who's interested in that show. I watched the first episode. Westworld is a funny one. Season 1 blew me away. I'm finding a hard time connecting, though. I love the storytelling, love the type of story they built up, the world they built up, but I'm having a hard time connecting to the robot characters. Not robots, but they're not real humans, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I watch it and it's entertaining and I enjoy it, but when the non-human characters go through something emotional, I don't care, because they're not human. It doesn't matter. Maybe I'm just viewing it wrong. I don't know. Omar said Season 2 Boardwalk was great, yeah, though I do think Season 3 is great too, but the Jip Rossetti stuff and the Harrow gang on a rampage, yeah, there's some good stuff, absolutely. For me personally, though, nothing ever topped Season 2. And it had a lot to do with the character, what they were doing in that Mark Grant said it's like we're getting 2 seasons at the same time. Yeah, with the backstory and then the current story. I keep getting bits and pieces of people talking about Maggie, but I'm missing like the main points. Is someone she signed back on, if that's what the discussion is. Lauren Cohan worked out her contract. We don't know any of the details. I mean, not the specifics. A little bit of stuff, but I would assume that she did work in a little bit more screen time in her contract. I mean, that would be beneficial to her career, as well as obviously more money and yada yada yada. But no, Maggie doesn't plan on harming Rick and Michonne. She just wants Negan. You know, she thinks Rick made a wrong decision, and they just want to show him like, no, this is wrong. It's not like, oh, we're gonna show him by fucking stabbing him in the back. You know what I mean? It's not like that at all. Rebecca said, I think Frank just wasn't into the Walking Dead franchise. You know, honestly, even though I said before, like, I wouldn't hold it against him, yada yada, it's not like Fear the Walking Dead came first and it's a surprise. If he wasn't into the Fear the Walking Dead or the Walking Dead franchise and he's not into zombies, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is where I might be in the wrong, absolutely. I don't view acting as, you know, the same as like just a job where you got to take that to get da-da. And I know that's what you're supposed to do, obviously, use the roles and the popularity of the stuff you take to boost your own career. But I view it as something that's important. And I don't like actors who just take something because it's popular and they bounce because they don't give a fuck. I don't like that at all. Like, if you walked in the door and you were like, yo, Ronnie, they want you for fucking Harry Potter. I've never watched a Harry Potter movie in my life. You know what I'm saying? Career-wise, I'd be like, okay, what do you need me to do? Hold the boom mic? I could do that, probably. Probably not, but still, what do you want me to do? It's good for my career, I'll do it. But I know 100% that's a franchise. And if I go into this, I will only go into this if I'm going to, you know, hold that shit down because there's fans that count on that franchise. And these are fans who, they, you know, this is escapism for us. This is our moment to just walk away from our daily lives for a little bit, all the headaches and stresses and yada, and just enjoy something. That's it. You don't want to walk away from that to go enjoy Harry Potter and find out that the fuckwad they hired to do this really important role is now all of a sudden I'm too good for it. You know what I'm saying? So they got to recast and it looks fucking stupid. No. So yeah, I'm harder on actors when it comes to franchises because I view it as something a little more special than just regular old here's an episode or a show or whatever. My brain shut off 10 seconds ago. So Todd Murray said, do you think now that Nick died, they're going to make his character seem like a perfect angel in flashbacks? No, I don't think they should, because they already went down the road they did with him on numerous occasions. He's a flawed character. That's the point of his character. But they're definitely going to look for the emotional angle, you know? Okay, Mark, but you're... Okay. Leftovers is a good show. I keep getting bits and pieces of some conversations. I appreciate the old school MAPP support. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm trying to get caught up. Fear reminds me of Francine and The Walking Dead. God damn, that was a good episode. Oh, glad you liked it, Chris. Ronnie, do you think John will go for revenge now that he knows what happened to Laura and Naomi, even though he doesn't like killing? Well, I don't think they took him. So I don't think so, or at least not yet. It looked like they went to go hunt them down, and they left Morgan and John there, and they'll be back after. Allison said, could you see sooner or later introducing a love interest for Madison, Strand, or Morgan? I think it would be interesting to see Strand care for someone other than himself, if that's possible. Character-wise, I don't want to see a love interest for Madison. I just don't think it works. Strand, Sure, but nothing serious, because it's just a waste of time. Give him somebody. Give him somebody to play off of. Somebody where there's an investment there, and there's what's the word I'm looking for? There's something he's afraid to lose, whatever word I'm looking for. Sure, give him something as long as it supports the storyline, and it's not just like, well, let's give him a boyfriend just because we need to have relationships, you know? Morgan, on the other hand, that's probably the one. Right when I read that, I've never thought about, oh, I'll give Morgan a relationship. But just thinking about that instantaneously, I think, wow, you know what? There's actually a good canvas there, to a good creative playground. You know what I mean? He had that with his wife in the very beginning, and, you know, all the trauma and all the shit he's been through, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm just sitting here thinking about it now, like, yeah, there could be some potential to really do something interesting with Morgan falling in love with somebody. I don't know. That's interesting now that I'm thinking about it, because everything he's been through, I don't know. You got me thinking. It might not work, but it might not work. TV scanner. Yeah, that's not at all what I'm talking about. I get what you're saying, though. You said at the end of the day, a job is a job. Yeah, that's not at all what we're talking about. Anyway, President, do you think we should learn a bit more about the zombie apocalypse? No. Not in the world of The Walking Dead. Frank was in Harry Potter. That's fucking hilarious. I pulled that franchise out of my ass because it's one franchise that I've never seen. Like legit no seasons. Not seasons. It's a movie. Oh, jeez. I've seen Lord of the Rings and other shit. Twilight. That's a franchise. I've never seen that either. I could have said that. Aaron KM. Maybe Frank was following John's career path. It worked well for John. Yeah. It should work well for Frank. I mean, he has some charisma. Just pick up a few more roles in the U.S. and you're good to go. He was Lord Voldemort. I think I heard it. My niece loves Harry Potter. So I've heard Voldemort. Sorry. What was the governor's job before the apocalypse? I forget, to be honest. Do you think No Way Out was a 10 out of 10 episode? No, I don't. I think it's up there, but I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. Fear finally has a good young actor, and he runs on them. Do you think Season 9 will be more like the earlier seasons? I hope so. John didn't want off. It was time for Shane to die. That doesn't make any sense. Have I seen The Avengers yet? No. I'm trying, but I gotta get a babysitter. I gotta go see it while my daughter... I think something bit my ear, man. That shit hurts. I gotta go when my daughter's in school, so just finding the time's a little tricky. Yeah, Leftovers is undoubtedly my favorite show in the last few years. It was such an emotionally draining show. Yeah, definitely. It's a good show. Where's Madison? Dead, alive? What's the deal? I think she's alive. We'll find out. She's just not with them right now. We'll find out later. Let's scroll down to the bottom. I think we're catching up now. Godzilla 2472 with a $5 super chat support. Thank you very much. Am I the only one who thinks Naomi Laura looks and sounds like Carol from the original show? That's funny. I didn't think of that. I didn't even think of that. I'm curious if anyone else saw a comparison. Madison's just not that compelling to anchor whole frickin' season. Well, so far she's not. She's actually not anchoring it much. I mean, she's there. She's an important part. But they're really relying on spreading it out and getting a good view on the group at this time, at least. Don Sims. Frank said he was homesick because he lives overseas, and filming in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada became too difficult for him to keep going, doing for several months each year. Is that real? Seriously? He's a fucking celebrity. Fly your pansy ass back home, then. I like the kid. I think he's being nice. You know, I could be wrong. I think he's just being nice. I think he just something he just wasn't liking. My money's on the story or the character. Maybe just it wasn't the direction he thought they were going to go, and he wanted out. And I think he's just being nice. So I could be wrong totally, though. Do you think that Fear will get 9 seasons like The Walking Dead did? I think it could if they play their cards right. Johnny Raincloud. Ronnie, do you think The Walking Dead TV will have a satisfying bookend transition from all-out war to a new beginning? Yeah, I think there's honestly no way to screw that up. You know, in my opinion, there's just no way to screw that up. You just show us where they are now. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be fine. What is BCS? Better Call Saul. What else we got here? Wait, Fear isn't. I think you're missing an N, right? That compelling now with all the interesting characters gone to hold the show for another season. Well, I think they're hoping for us to get connected with the newer characters they're adding in, like John and Naomi, for example. Like, if their episode really draws us into them, they could be a new compelling character to follow. And who else? Al, that's her name. What is her full name? I keep forgetting. Is it Athea? What if Fear of the Walking Dead's cast ends up being villains? Oh my god, we're still on this. On The Walking Dead with Morgan's love interest being on Fear. Maybe I'm too high. Yes, you're too high. Way too high. Ronnie never watched Harry Potter? Question mark, sad. No. I'm gonna when my daughter gets into it in another year, maybe 2 years. I'll watch them with her. Madison would be sick if she was the sole survivor of the stadium after everyone else had left. She would be wearing the Walker mask and make the group realize what they've now become. No, it does not make any sense to take these characters and turn them into, rapist freaks. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't think AMC would ever do that. There's no value in that. You can, if it was a movie, I'd say, you know what? They could pull it off. Because a movie's different. It's very different. The vibe, the enjoyment, what you draw from it, it's extremely different than an ongoing TV series. Do you want to follow, do you want to follow the story of rapists and draw an emotional attachment to them as if they're the good guys, even if it was an anti-hero? And I'm not just talking about you have a TV show and you got this one guy, he's a bad guy and you love to hate him, You watch him because he's interesting and crazy and psychotic and he's the bad guy. But you have the whole group as them. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And you can't take out the nasty shit the Whisperers do, because then they're no longer the Whisperers, Why do you think Too Far Gone still holds up as the best episode on The Walking Dead? For some fans, because it's definitely solid. It's got a lot there. Absolutely, it's got a lot there. Frank did a good job in his death scene. Yes, I think he did a great job with his death. His death is exactly how it would be if a person would get shot. I'm very glad you brought that up, because that's something I didn't bring up in my review. Death scenes, even movies, they could get it wrong. Look at one of the most fucking stupid death scene in the history of TV. Batman, what the fuck is the third movie called? Nolan did an amazing job with The Dark Knight. The next one with Bane. Batman Rises. Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises. You have the girl, Al Ghul's daughter. My God, I'm horrible with names tonight. Whatever the bitch's name is. She's dying in the truck. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a meme now. She's just like, my dad's plan is done. It's like, oh, bitch, that's how you die? He did a great job with the death. Even the way they filmed it, how he was struggling to breathe. I guess the bullet would, go through his lungs. Like I said before, if you're spitting up blood, the only way you can do that, or at least the only way I think that you can do that, is if you get blood in your lungs. So he's choking to death, suffocating to death. choking to death on his own blood. They did a great job filming that. I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. Do you think John is in denial that he will be in such grief that his character dramatically changes and Morgan helps him back to who he was? I think there's going to be a dynamic there between Morgan and John. I think John's going to lose a bit of himself because of this, because hearing that she died, and Morgan sees that he's a good guy, and Morgan might stick around to try to help him through it because he acted too slow to help Nick. He could have done it sooner. He could have opened up sooner instead of pushing people away. So I think that's the way they're working that dynamic. You know what I mean? It's set up perfectly for them to do that. They might not, but it's already there. Might as well just do that. Wait. Ronnie, I hope you partially transition to Twitch one day. You can in real life stream for your after shows, and 100% of donations money goes straight to you. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on Twitch sooner, hopefully, than later. We got things popping up for the channel, new things planned, but it's on hold though because I need the internet to be solid. When I moved in here, I said, hey, give me the best internet you got, blah, blah, blah. And it's just not good enough. It's dog shit. It's good, but if I go watch a YouTube video, the live stream will crash, And other people, when they upload, they're like, yeah, it takes a couple minutes to upload. My videos, it takes 45 minutes to upload it, maybe longer. And that's faster than before, sure. At the other place, I had to go to the library because it took, what, 9 hours, sometimes 27 hours to upload one video, one 20-minute review. That's why the reviews didn't come out till Wednesday. It took 27 hours to upload. But that's because I was out in a really bad reception area. But currently, I'm trying to hunt for new internet. I was actually looking at, there's an apartment by my grandparents, and I was looking at putting internet out there. It's out there, though, in the country. Not the country, but I call it the country. But it's definitely the sticks. And the company said it would be $5,000 to put in our own internet line. Because the fucking internet stops like 500 feet from their house. That's like, of all places. You know what I'm saying? So we would be in the section where the internet isn't at. And it's like, what? So we wanted to put in our own shit. I don't know. I'm shocked that there's places that just don't have internet. There's no options to get good internet. It's like, what? I don't know. I'm privileged. I got good internet. That's because I've always lived, in the city, by the city, near a city. So internet's not you don't think about it. You move into a place, you get internet. It's too slow, you get better internet. You go out to the sticks and it's like, you guys don't got high-speed internet. What the fuck? What is this, 2003? What are you doing? Why do you think... Oh, I already read that. But yeah, I am looking into paying a bit more and getting internet for the streaming stuff. And yeah, it will be on Twitch because we're going to play around a little bit with Twitch and YouTube, but YouTube is a tricky thing. I keep wanting it. I want it to be like one channel, different shows. You know what I'm saying? That's the slogan a long time ago. But it gets tricky because more and more I'm seeing that the audience as a whole isn't ready for that yet. When you do a YouTube channel, YouTube, because people make different channels, they're not there yet. One day in the future, in 5 years, a lot of the viewers will be used to one channel uploading different things, and some stuff they're not interested in. Right now, though, if someone subscribes for The Walking Dead and you upload something that isn't The Walking Dead, they throw a shit fit. It's like, make a different channel for that. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. A channel has different shows. AMC just doesn't air The Walking Dead. No. They got all these other shows you don't care about. Don't watch them. Same thing with a YouTube channel. When I post a Fortnite video, if you hate Fortnite, you're sick of Fortnite, don't watch it, But YouTube is getting there, but we're not all the way there. A couple more years yet. But the internet and the Twitch, we're trying to get things structured. And the reason I haven't kicked off yet is once I go, we're going 100 miles an hour. So I don't want to start and then stop and then da-da-da. But things are picking up. Tomorrow I'm going to hopefully upload a video with you guys. I want some feedback before I make the final push to go full time. So that's coming up. Anyway, Muse says Heath's actor is far more in demand, but they made it so he could come back. Yet they killed Nick. So you think they are mad at one actor but not the other? No, I honestly feel that Heath, he wasn't getting as much time and he wanted to take other jobs. So they said, okay, well, we can write you out, but you can come back later when you're available. And they had that plan because it was just the way they were structuring the split storytelling. You know what I mean? With Nick, I honestly believed he was not happy. Either he was homesick or he was honestly not happy with what they did with the character. And it wasn't a matter of coming back. He wanted out. I don't think they were mad at him. I think that is true. I think he wanted out, you know. Gavin's ghost, Governor Blue, wife call off, and she was killed in an accident the next day. Yeah, he did call off. What was it, construction or something? I forget. What did Morgan mean you like growing things at the end of the episode? Nick liked growing things, so I guess they planted him by a farm or something that was growing. I just assumed that's what he meant. Yeah, Madison is a very good-looking MILF. We got another person. Naomi reminds you of Carol. Oh, I'm sorry. Electric Copper with a $5 super chat support a few minutes ago. I missed it, though. When do you think the decision was made to kill off Carl, knowing that the flashbacks in episode 1 belong to Carl? Longtime subscriber, thank you for the vids. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chat support. Honestly, I believe the decision to kill Carl off came somewhere in the break between seasons, or maybe after they filmed season 7, but not before they edited it. I think it came in somewhere around there, in all honesty. I don't believe for a minute they knew or wanted to kill him off before when they were filming season 7 and having the scenes between him and Negan. Because now in retrospect, when you look back, the scenes just don't make sense, honestly, and they're problematic, you know. So there's one moment in the comic that I find odd they never mentioned on the show. It's like, why not? Because it would fit so perfectly. But, you know, have Carl go, Dad, you know, I went there to kill this man, to get revenge, to just, you know, kill him, I went there to gun him down. But here's a guy who did something bad. You know, we're supposed to be better than that. We're supposed to, you know, be here. That all that stuff that we already know. But what they said in the comic was, look at this guy. He had multiple opportunities to kill us. You know, he could have killed our guards and He has this structure, and yeah, it's flawed. You know what I mean? But we should be better than that. That if they would have went there, because they said that in the comic, and it really hit. Because Negan had so many opportunities to kill Rick, or Rick punched him in the face one time, he got mad, and Negan just laughed it off. Like, there was so many different opportunities, and it fit so perfect. Rick is going to kill him, and then he's like, you know what, Negan could have killed us a number of different times, and he didn't. You know, what would we be if we just fucking killed him, you know? And that wasn't the whole thing, but it's a little part, and if they add these little parts, it adds up to something. Wait, problem wasn't even the Vultures. It was probably the Flag Group. The Flag Group and the Vultures are the same group. Unless they're going to change it later. But right now, the show wants us to believe they are the same group. So I think they are. Daniel Barton. Do you think Madison ate the hot dog? I bet she did that after the camera wasn't focused on her. Yeah, in the bloopers. Someone said take my daughter to the Avengers. She's not into the Avengers at all. Fear's next episode is all about 2 uninteresting characters. Ugh. I disagree. I think I'm not interested in Naomi at all. I hope we learn a little more with her. We haven't gotten a lot, you know. We haven't gotten anything, really. Not enough, but John seems like an interesting character. There's something there where I'm like, okay, you know what? He's got a charisma about him. He's got an interesting story. I want to see what went on between these two. And I do think they're building him up, hopefully, to keep him around, to become a character that we look at like a Morgan down the line, you know? So, I am interested in that. Have you seen This Is the End? Yeah, I think I own that on Blu-ray. It was funny. Kim Dixon played in Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, she was a whore. I think she ran a brothel. Infinity War has been out for a while. If you wanted to see it, you've had the chance. I think you guys are talking to other people in the thing, because I already explained why I didn't see it. Muse said, why did they... Oh my god, what happened to the chat? Oh, why did they make it so he couldn't come back, but made it so Heath could come back, Ronnie? Oh, I think you typed this before I answered it, but I answered that a minute ago if you missed it, but I honestly think it wasn't them. I think it was Nick. I think Heath had a good relationship with them. Nick did too, but Nick didn't want to come back. He was done with the show. The MILF from Dharma and Greg is on Fear. Damn well. Yeah, that's right. She was in Dharma and Greg. Isn't that from like the 90s? No, that's not from it. Yeah. Late 90s, early 2000s. I'm horrible with timelines, but my mother used to watch that. Maybe. Or it used to play on TV when there was nothing else to watch. But I think I know what you mean. Oh my god, nope. I got that confused. My mom used to watch the one with the gay dude. The lawyer? Will and Grace. Got it. Dharma and Greg, I watched like an episode of that. Wasn't she like a hippie? But you're right. She was smoking. Smoking hot back in the day. She's still pretty. Q&A, why don't we see more wild animals on both shows? It's a budget thing. You got to have the companies there making not companies but organizations there making sure the animals are safe and yada yada yada. It's just a hassle, you know. That's just it. It's just a hassle. We got Lisa Jet with a $20 super chat support. Haven't seen this one yet, but I think Daniel must be chasing Troy around for the last year or so. Laugh out loud. Aren't you glad I don't write the show, or we might have Daniel and Troy spinoff? Nick's death was a shocker. Thank you very much for that super chat support. I know you're still holding out hope that Troy is alive and well. I think a lot of fans, to be honest, wanted Troy back. He was an interesting character. He had some good development, but I do see a lot of fans a little upset that he is officially dead. But unfortunately, he is officially dead. I do want to see Daniel, though. Daniel could be out hunting Strand down. I'd be fine with that. Keep their beef going. Godzilla 2472 with a $2 super chat support. What about Thea? Question mark. She's hot too. Oh yeah, she's definitely hot too. Al, we got another person that likes her too. Someone likes Maggie Grace. She plays Thea. I hope Madison and gang kill the vultures next episode. Let's go. Q&A. Does Juliet watch Pokemon? If so, she'll know who Charmander is. No, she doesn't. She was interested in a Pokemon game once. I mean, you know, a couple of her friends talk about Pokemon here and there, so it's something where, you know, she's not against it, but she doesn't ever get into it. So I think when she gets a little bit older, she's going to start picking up stuff like that. Pokemon and that other Avengers and, you know, Harry Potter. Tim likes John. They better not kill him off too damn soon. I agree with you. I don't want them to kill him off. Not at all. Right, let me scroll down a little bit here. Did that Native American dude die? Maybe I missed it. No, I think he's still out there somewhere. Westworld had a tiger in it? What? Really? Will and Grace is back too. What do you mean? Like a TV show? Like, damn, they're bringing everything back, huh? They started remaking all the movies, now they're moving on to the TV shows. Ronnie, have you seen Atlanta? I don't think I've ever been to Atlanta. I think I've drove through it once. Like, literally just drove through it once. I don't think I've ever been to Atlanta, though. Not that I can remember. My cousin lived in Atlanta. I kept meaning to go visit him, but and this is before Walking Dead, so where are the Proctors at? I think they're dead, apparently, or dead or gone. They're out of the story so far that we know. Troy was the best character. I felt ripped off when he got hammered, Necron said. I still feel that same way. I know people explain the whole, Madison. And this is another thing. I see the comments, and I get it. I know if that's how they meant it to go down, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that at all. Madison saw all these warning signs with him. It was a weird, creepy relationship that they had, and she even came out in some interviews talking about how she was manipulating him, and that was the whole point, and yada, yada, yada. So I don't believe it at all that she really thought she could turn him around. Maybe she did hope, that he would cut his shit. Sure, I could buy that a little bit. But she knows he's fucked up, dude. He's gonna fuck up something else. She should have put him down like a dog a long time ago. And when she finally snapped, I just kind of felt like, that was uneventful. Negan, the fucking awesome psychopath. If this is the final season, they're really going to kill everyone off. Laugh out loud. Most important characters, I mean. We don't have to worry about that. It's not. Troy only had connections to Nick, who is dead, and Madison, who we're supposed to think is Troy. See, that's where I feel interesting story is born out of. Troy has connections with them. It's easier for him to get along with them and feel comfortable and, in his own skin and yada, 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 and interact, sure. But what if you have Troy there and you get to see how he acts with Nick being killed? How would he act? Would he say, Alicia, whatever you need, let's go hunt them down and skin them alive? Imagine Alicia's reaction. She hates Troy's guts. What is she going to do? Okay, she wants to help. So now you have this awkward camaraderie between these two that hate each other. And he has no one else. Madison isn't there. So now you open the door for more potential interesting story development with him, character development with him. I don't know. There's so much more they could have done with him, I felt. So I do understand when fans are annoyed that he got killed off. And Ronnie, have you ever considered doing a video where you give your opinion on how they would have ended a season with either The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead? You mean ended any random? Wait, where you give your opinion on how they would have ended a season with either The Walking Dead? Do you mean ended the series with either The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead? I've never considered it, and here's the main reason why: is because we don't know at what point they're going to end, and you need to know that because that matters on how it's going to end. If it, like I said before, if it ended with Fear the Hunters, very different than if it ends with All Out War. If it ends with The New Beginning, The Whisperers, or The New Community, Commonwealth, the story is so incredibly different, and how it could end is so incredibly different. It's damn near impossible to come up with a conclusion unless I just make up my own type of shit, and that's probably going to be way off with what happens, Wait, where's the... We got Cody196 with a $2 super chat support. Hey, Ronnie, I honestly would prefer you as a writer. Well, I appreciate that vote of confidence. Thank you very much. Kyle Bentz. I think my bank account would also appreciate that. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much for the support. Kyle Bentz. $4.99. Are the Proctors coming back? And I swear Troy farted before he died. Well, he probably shit himself as he died, like most people do. As far as the Proctors, I personally get the vibe that they're gone. That was a season 3 thing, and they're not here anymore. On Talking Dead, I think they mentioned you will find out what happened after the dam. Yeah, they're likely going to fill in the holes. James Milligan, do you think they will drag the status of the stadium and Madison until the finale? No. I think they'll drag it out until the mid-season finale, though, yeah. Wolves would attack the actors. Laugh out loud. Unknown Echo said the reporter thing is getting annoying. I'm fine with it. Again, it's the certain dialogue and the way they go about certain scenes that really determines if it's working for me or not. You know. What would have happened if Negan ran into the Wolves group first? He probably would have killed the ones who were fucked in the head and kept whoever he thought could, actually help them out. I don't think the Wolves would work too well for Negan. Alright, what else we got? We're back up to the newest comments. We're going to be ending this soon. We're running up on, oh yeah, it's midnight. Let's see what we got. Some good questions to finish us off. Do you think The Walking Dead will have a reboot in 30 years? Absolutely. The Walking Dead's here to stay. It might not get a TV reboot. It might get a movie reboot. Or an animated or some special, I don't know what they got going on in 30 years. It might have some special, lifelike artwork that looks like the comic, but it also looks like this new crazy cool shit. Direct adaptation. That's what, me personally, I would love to see that. A direct adaptation with pieces included to flesh it out somewhat. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Where do you think Nick and Lucy picked on the map? Atlanta, maybe? Well, if they're in Texas and they hit north, it can't be Atlanta. There's absolutely no way. They would have to go east. And yeah. Yeah. Unless it was northeast, where they picked, it's hard. Is it a state? Is it 2 states away? Is it a county away? It's like, we're north. So, I don't know. Depending on where they picked, holy hell. North Dakota at the farthest? Something like that? I don't know. I really don't know. I got the vibe it was in that area, but because they can't go a far journey with all those people. When do you think we will get all the answers we want, mid-season, end of season? I think we're going to get a lot by the mid-season finale. If they continue this on the whole season, it'll have to work. They'll have to get creative with it, because if they run this gimmick the whole season, I feel like it might start to wear thin. I feel like we'll get most, if not all, of the answers by the mid-season finale, and then they'll switch it up a bit and give us some more answers that aren't what happened here, but background stuff that fills in some more of the pieces. And yeah, they need to explain the dam. What do we got? Godzilla 2472 with a $5 super chat. What do you think would happen if the Vultures tried this bullshit with Rick? I think he would rip them apart. Oh, Rick would probably say, listen, I'm sure we can work something out. Let me go inside. Let me see what provisions we got. Listen, we'll give you, we'll hook it up. We will hook it up. And then you gotta go. Okay? We'll give you, if we die, we die. But we'll give you what we got, and then you gotta go. And then the guy would be like, oh, yeah, maybe we'll go. I'll think about it. And then he'll just fucking kill them. You know what I mean? I think Rick ain't, especially now, I don't know. He's establishing the community and law and order now, so it might be a bit different. Plus, they're pretty good. They've got shit going now. I don't think the Vultures would last at all. Rick would laugh at them and just... they would grow, you know what I mean? Because they don't need to rely on scavenging. Yeah, scratch that. Rick could kill them, sure, but he'd probably just laugh in their face and walk away. Dylan said he really feel like this episode did nothing for the story except the last 5 minutes. Do you think the Walking Dead universe needs to stop this? Well, this is a tricky thing. This is a TV show thing, and I feel like this is also budget related. You take a whole season. You have how many episodes are they doing? 15, right? We have a certain amount of budget. We can tell this amount of story, and yada yada yada. You need those episodes that honestly aren't strenuous on the budget. Every episode can't be like this and this and this. So this episode, we had that nice setup with the water park. Okay, I mean, it's looking like they're utilizing the budget. Yeah, definitely. But you also got to take it down a notch. You can't have the water park and go into war with the vultures. So we're going to have to slow it down a bit, flesh the story out a bit, and dive in deep with these characters and yada, yada, yada. So I think it's a combination. I won't say budget only, but I think it's a combination of things. As far as this episode, like I said, there's a lot of not important as far as exciting, explosive stuff going on, but there is a lot of important filler stuff, and not filler as in how that word is usually used, but it's filling the gaps of unfolding or unraveling the events that played out. Events that we really want to know about. You know, we want to know about the situation with the settlement, what's going on, but they could have honestly done it in less time. That's how I feel. I agree with you, but only they could have done it in less time. And that's where I say the budget comes into, because if they had unlimited budget, they probably would have, and then they would pack some other cool shit in there. What do we got here? The last showrunner stated that he really wanted Troy to survive, but he begrudgingly decided to kill him off because he was handing the show over, and he thought that the Troy family arc was his. Yeah, I believe that is similar to what he said. He did say that this way, it was like a closed circle, you know what I mean? He could have kept going. He could have. I feel like they just ruined Fear the Walking Dead. It has turned into The Walking Dead, just wasted episodes that mean nothing. Now next week, a bottle episode. Chris Forbes is it has to be a troll. Well, maybe your name is really Forbes. I'm just, Forbes the interview, never mind. Or the review stuff, never mind. We'll have to see where it goes. Me personally, I'm a little conflicted because I prefer the blended episodes where we get everybody in it a little bit. The split episodes, I'm usually not a fan. And it looks like we are definitely getting a split episode where we're going to see John and Morgan in present day, and we're going to flash back as he's telling Morgan the story. We're going to flash back and see it in the backstory. The reason why I say I'm hesitant here is because it has a lot of potential to work. This is something that, I personally want to know more about, and it could end up being like Here's Not Here. Here's Not Here is a bottle episode, which is Morgan and Eastman. It's one of my favorite episodes. I love it. It is just well done. That one could have been broken down, and it could have been a blended episode over how many episodes? Absolutely. It might have been great to do that. So it's a tricky one. You do want it all at once or a little bit sprinkled here and there. We're going to have to wait and see with this episode coming up, though. But that formula, though, this is never going to go away. It doesn't look like it. This is never going to go away, where we have these split episodes that a lot of people usually call bottle episodes, because that is a budget thing. With this budget, no bullshit, you can't always have a blended episode storytelling style. You can't. You will always run over budget. That would be like constantly paying all the main, moneymakers every single episode. No, they need a few where it's Carol and Maggie only, prisoners with a little outpost. They need those types of episodes. In the scheme of things, that episode didn't do anything. It was Maggie and Carol. We already know Carol's going over the edge. Maggie has this moment where it's an emotional moment, like she's not okay, but that does nothing moving forward. Right away after that, she's same old Maggie again. It doesn't permanently do anything with her character, and Carol's story had been going on that long. So you see what I mean? That episode in a nutshell could be categorized as a filler episode. The most important thing is taking out the saviors, getting this war kicked off again, and thinking they killed Negan. I think that is one of the most important aspects, story-wise, plot-wise. They think they killed Negan because he says, I'm Negan. They could have did that episode in 15 minutes. So in the world of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, we are never, unless they make changes, we are never not getting split storytelling or bottle episodes. Godzilla 2472 with a $5 super chat. Okay, second question. What would season 5 through 6 Rick would have handled the vultures? 5 through 6, he would have ripped them in half. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Yeah, 5 through 6, the Rick going from the terminus and the hospital and then finding his way to Alexandria. Yeah, he would have ripped them in half, starting with their asshole. Ronnie, there's a song called Athea by an old band called The Grateful Dead. Please give it a listen. Sorry, in my opinion, I think the writers use it as sort of a blueprint for the character. Your thoughts? I'd have to give it a listen. Because other than you saying, that's a song by The Grateful Dead, I don't know anything about it. So I think I know the song, hearing it on the radio, obviously, but I don't remember the lyrics except for them saying Athea. Isn't that the chorus? I think that's the only thing I do remember, so I'd have to listen to that. All right, last couple questions. We're over time a little bit, but Howling Wolf, do you think the main group will always have a hole inside after everything? Have a hole inside after everything in the Nick's death? Will they change again to be something stronger yet not too far gone? Also, who took all the books? I don't know what you mean. Do you think the main group will always have a hole inside after everything in Nick's death? Hole inside. Well, yeah, a loss, sure, a void. They'll always be. They'll be forever changed because of his death. Absolutely. Will they change again to be something stronger yet not too far gone? Yeah, I don't think they're going to go over the edge. I think they are going to definitely seek revenge, but I don't think they're going to turn into like Terminus. You know what I mean? But I do think they could wade into waters that are kind of anti-hero-like. That's fine, absolutely. And as far as who took the books, just anybody. I think they meant it to be, it was just looted for whatever reason. If people took it for kindling or to actually read or for the information and knowledge in the books or for entertainment, it was just random people took the books. Insomniac Josh, now that Nick is dead, does that now increase the chance that Daniel is still alive? I don't think that would affect Daniel's character at all. I think the actor, whether or not he wants to be on the show, affects it the most, to be honest. Wait. Since Morgan walked, drove, ran to Texas, could Fear technically be ahead of The Walking Dead in terms of timeline? Technically, yeah, sure, it could be. I personally don't think it is, but it could be, yeah. I mean, we know, we have no idea where it's going to line up with The New Beginning, so yeah, it could be technically ahead. They need to explain what happened to Daniel. Yeah, I hear that. Godzilla 2472 with another $5 super chat support. Thank you very much, brother. He would have ripped them in half, starting with their asshole. Ronnie 2018. Yeah, if you want to know what that's like, go watch Bone Tomahawk. I highly recommend that movie, by the way. One of my favorite movies of all time. And someone does get ripped in half by their butthole. No bullshit. Ryan, Ronnie, is it safe to assume the group was at the stadium for a long period of time, maybe equal to how long Rick was at the prison? And do you think those took place about the same time? Ooh, that I'm not sure about. I'd have to turn my brain off for that one. I'm sure it wouldn't line up exactly, but Fear got started a little bit before. Obviously, Rick getting out of that thing. If it interests you, if it was like a funny tidbit, then sure, it could be happening close to the same time that they. Well, no, you know what? Yeah. Prison after prison, traveling to Atlanta. That was a short period of time. Sure, I'd say sure. It's close. It's close enough to think maybe. Not exactly line up, but close. Angela said, from what I saw, there may be a baby Nick. I don't understand Spanish. Good, but when Lucy said whatever and Athea had that look when she put the camera down, what do you think, Ronnie? Well, I wasn't thinking about a pregnancy. No, I was just, I wasn't thinking about pregnancy. I just think, she was regretting her decision to pick a spot to go. If they would have just stayed there or did something differently. I think that's what, I don't think it had, it could be about a baby, but I didn't get that vibe. Hey Ronnie, just wanted to fix my wording on my last question. I wanted to know if you could make a video giving your opinion on how a particular season should have ended. Oh, how a season should have ended. Yeah, we could if we ever get the time, do something like that. I tend to stay away from, those type of videos just because it's fun as a little quick video, but if you put too much into it, too much time, or it's a long video, or yada yada yada, it doesn't change anything, So if I can find the right amount of time to put into something like that, where I give you guys an interesting story, but I'm not going all out making this whole 10-hour 5-part. Here's how I would have wrote it. Because that is very time consuming, just putting all those pieces together, especially for a script that you're trying to sell, let alone for a script that is just going to be nothing, There's a lot involved in that. But we might do that one day. Wait, what are your best all-time The Walking Dead baddies as a survivor group of 5? Oh, I have no idea. I'm horrible with questions like that. Rick, 5 Ricks. Don't know if you've covered this, but can you believe they already killed another main character, aka Naomi? Now fears so bloodthirsty they kill off characters within 2 episodes. I personally don't think she's dead yet. Until we see it, I don't believe it. About Danny, do you think they'll be doing what they did with Merle and let a season pass? They could. They absolutely could. How large do you think the Walker herds can get? Massive. Absolutely massive. Alright, I'm trying to find a really solid question to end on. Necron asked, whatever happened to the 50 caliber machine gun that Alicia and Naomi found? The weapon is a game changer. I think they might have just left it there. It could be in that hole in the ground. I didn't really look, but then again, if they had it, she wouldn't have destroyed the barrel, right? I mean, don't you need that, especially if that specific barrel isn't that designed with the holes for the cooling so it doesn't explode or melt or whatever, catch on fire? Isn't that what the design is for? Why do you think Nick wants Charlie to come back to the group so bad? Well, Nick's always had a soft spot for, you know, innocence and kids and them having a good life and not living among assholes, you know what I mean? Howling Wolf, Ronnie, people are worried that Fear will kill most of the remaining original characters and Morgan will take over, but would that be a cause for concern? No. There's just no way they're doing that. Yeah, that shouldn't even... I mean, that's an interesting thing to discuss, maybe, and bring up, but that's more like, hey, let's try to get a clicky video, I guess. Like, if I wanted a semi-clickbaity type video, I would probably do something like that, but in the back of my mind, I know they'll never do that. There's just no way in hell. And not because Morgan isn't a capable character. I don't mean that at all. It's because he's black. Slizzle is not fucking around. No, it's because you need Morgan to bridge the gap between the two shows, and he's too important in that aspect to take him and crown him as the lead on the main show, because then you really restrict his movements as a character. With The Wanderer, my God, he could fucking wander off and start a new spin-off. You know what I mean? The possibility's open. If he's the lead in Fear the Walking Dead, he's grounded there. If they want to bounce Morgan back over to The Walking Dead, they can't if they make him the lead. So having Morgan there in the capacity that he is now, as like the guest character, the crossover character, that works so much more in their favor because of how flexible it is. Lock him down to that main character spot, and now you're not as flexible, and you need to just do that strictly. You know what I mean? Did that make sense? Jay Morse, the review guy. Number 1, do you think Morgan will go back to the original series? I hope he does. Number 2, if he does, will he bring one or more characters over with him from Fear? That is possible. I hope he does, and that is possible. We got another super chat. No, we didn't. Sorry. I reread Godzilla's. He would have ripped him in half, starting with their asshole. It was a nice quote. I wanted to read it again. And yes, Charlie needs to look at the flowers. Oh, thank you very much, Harrison Hall. Thanks for the support, bud. Kid Chris, laughed my ass off. Damn, you had me stunned. He said it was because he's black. Oh, shit. Not Karate Kid. Cobra Kai had some funny little jokes that seem like in this day and age, it seemed like easy, you know, it fits the 80s, 90s jokes, not being politically correct. And then these days, so many people is like, oh, you can't joke about this and this and this. I was like, fucking movies and jokes and music, all that shit is exempt from real world scrutiny. You know what I mean? I don't know. But Cobra Kai, it had some stuff in there where I'm like, oh yeah. You know, some people might be like, oh, that's messed up. Have you ever seen Shameless? If so, what is your favorite moment? I haven't seen it yet. I do want to check it out, though. Would anyone care about the Fear the Walking Dead characters if they were in The Walking Dead, considering half of the fan base? I've never seen Fear. Would anyone care about the Fear the Walking Dead? Well, that gets tricky. You take a Fear the Walking Dead character and put him in The Walking Dead. Now they're fighting for popularity over them. You know what I mean? Screen time and yada, yada, yada. I'm interested in what they're doing a lot with this new season. But if you take Madison, put her in The Walking Dead, you better show me enough Rick. I need plenty of Rick in my life. That sounds bad. I need, what did I say the last time? I need Rick like hoes need dick, you know? Don't give me too much Madison, or don't give me more Madison and not enough Rick. Hells no. Hells no. That's not working for me. So the way you did write that, yeah, you have a point. If you take a Fear character in there, you know, I would prefer the original cast, and I think it's good that we keep them separate, though, for the most part. crossovers, cameos, it can be done. But there's no need to take a character and just, or more than one character. And Mark Grant. Okay, that wasn't a question. Okay, we're going to shut it down now. Howlin' Wolf said, do you think any of the characters will still have sympathy for Charlie by the end of the Vulture story arc? I hope fucking not. I want Alicia to good son that little bitch, okay? She needs to look at the flowers. I can't think of anything funny to say, but the bitch needs a look. Alicia needs to find Charlie and take her on a road trip to see Carol. That's what needs to happen. We need to just walk up. Morgan got to go. I know the perfect way to end this, We're going to go see a friend of mine, a friend of ours. All right? Come on. And then, no, it's a friend of mine. No, it's a friend of ours, I think. It's been a while. Friend of ours. Take them up there to Atlanta. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. Done. She'll go out quick. All right. I got to get going. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go see Cobra Kai. It's not mind-blowingly epic, but I really had no clue it was airing. But when someone said they were making a Karate Kid TV show based on possibly Karate Kid being the bad guy technically and following the bully, I was like, that's going to be ass. And it has a lot of charisma. It has the cheese of the 80s movies and the montages. Yeah, I mean, damn. Go watch it, support it. It's on YouTube Red if you have YouTube Red. If not, get a free trial or something. I think there's a 2-week trial out there. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Remember, this next Sunday, every Sunday, 10:30 around Eastern Standard Time, we come and discuss The Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead, whatever's going on in the world of The Walking Dead every single Sunday night. And tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to put up the video either tomorrow or Tuesday. It's called What the Hell Do You People Want From Me? I think that's the full title. A little discussion video, but it's important because there's one more thing I want to double check before we move into doing full-time content on the channel. I want to check in with you guys on one thing. So let's keep an eye out for that. Those interested in giving your input, if you're not interested in channel stuff, then you could skip that one, but it might bore you. But if you are interested, keep an eye out for that, please. Monday or Tuesday, it's a very important video. So, because that's the last step before we go in full-time. As always, thank you, mods, for coming out, holding it down. Thank you, everyone else, for coming out and joining the discussion. Thank you, everyone, for the Super Chat support. I hope I didn't miss anyone tonight. It doesn't look like I did, so I think I actually made it one night without a mistake. And thank you, everyone, who's still supporting the Patreon. All the support as a whole is the only thing keeping this channel alive, because YouTube is shit these days. Alright, guys, have a good night. I'll see you here next Sunday for Fear the Walking Dead episode 5 already. Damn. I'm going to look in the comments, but real quick, is it 15 episodes or 16? So are we stopping at 7 or 8? Put that comment down there. I forget. You're going to get Ronnie Hayes' backstory, so trust me. Good night, guys.